Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Please excuse the lighting. It's now getting dark, about 4:30. I finish work at 4, so by the time I actually get going with filming and stuff, it's pitch black. So we've now got this light on, but I mean, it's Halloween anyway, so that's fun. We're going to be looking at Forscan. I'm going to show you basically how to install it. And the basics behind it. I'm not going to go into programming, let's say auto windows or auto lights or folding mirrors. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to get you guys onto Forscan and then you guys can play around with it. Now this is a warning. If you get the extended license for Forscan and you basically mess up your car, there is a huge possibility of that. So Forscan allows you to change whatever settings you want with the brain of your car. So bear that in mind when you're going into this program. It has amazing stuff such as diagnostic tool inside there. There's also monitoring tools, so we can monitor fuel and stuff like that. But there is also a setting in there that allows you to basically change stuff. So I got my cruise control programmed using this software. So bear that in mind before you kind of dive head first into it and start changing settings randomly. So first thing you need to do is go on to the Forscan website. This is what it looks like. You're then going to press products up top. That's going to take you to this page here. This page here, you're going to want to download one of two. You can either download this one here, so the Forscan for Windows version, or the Forscan for Windows version. But I don't really know the difference between the two, not going to lie. But download one of them and then install it. The installation process is so simple. Literally, you just press next, you know, English language, and just basically get it installed. Once it's installed, there are two things you need to do. One, make an account on the website itself, and then that way you need to wait for an admin to basically accept you. Now, you only have to do that if you're planning on changing settings such as cruise control, folding mirrors, let's say you're disabling your seatbelt thing, your tire pressure monitor sensors, you can also disable that. So you only need an extended license for that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you don't need it just to kind of do diagnostic and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Now then, once Forscan's opened, this is what you're going to be shown with. Now you're going to need a ELM switch. Now this is the one I'm using. It's called ProScan Automotive, and it comes with one of these little switches here. This allows you to basically, it'll tell you in the program, but it basically allows you to switch between, I think there's 2 different brains in a Ford. I'm making this as simple as I can, but basically it switches between the 2 different brains and allows you to read the settings that you need. So that's just on a big long USB, and this is what you're going to basically plug in to your OBD port. Right, once that is plugged in, we're going to go onto the Forscan app, and we are going to press connect down bottom. It's going to ask you for the ignition on, so we're going to turn the ignition on. We are then going to make sure that our switch is on the outer position. So for the one that I've got, it hasn't got it clearly marked, but basically there is a MS and a HS. I'm on the MS position, which is basically clicked outwards, so away from the cable itself. Click OK. It's then going to start reading a bunch of stuff. Now I have already done this, but basically just let it run through everything. I'm going to click no on this, you won't have that. And then it works out what market you're in. So obviously if you're in America, select America, South Africa, Russia. Basically it's just working out what your car is and where it's from, pretty much. Now it hasn't got England on here, or United Kingdom, or Europe. So we're going to just press all other and press OK. And then once again, it's going to basically read everything to do with your car, and go through a bunch of different settings. So you can see that it's basically going down, it's reading the powertrain control module. It really is basically looking at your whole car right now. A bunch of other stuff. It's going to pick up different codes that you've had on your car. So if it has got those MS modules, now's the time to do it. So I'm going to flick the switch. You're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to flick the switch across, and then I'm going to press yes. Press OK with all of them, and then it's going to read through the rest of the settings, which is what I'm referring to as the other brain. It's not 100% right, but you get the gist of what I mean. Right, I'm going to save that profile just so that way it doesn't have to do all this again. It knows exactly what car I'm connecting it to. And now we're in. So what I can do now is, if I want to, I can go on to, so there's different settings here. So we've got basically this first menu is the one that's going to show you all the different codes and stuff on problems or potential problems that you have with your car. Now I need you to bear in mind that there are certain mods and certain things that you may have done to your car that will bring up a code. Not potentially an engine management code, but a code that says, oh wait, this isn't right. But then all of a sudden, you know, let's say you just disconnected a wire and plugged it back in, that could bring up a code. So, the codes that I have my turbocharger / supercharger bypass valve control circuit. Apparently my actuator is stuck closed. Now the thing that I'm putting that down to, and I've always had that ever since my Turbo Smart mechanical valve. So remember, it's not electronical anymore, and it's also got a little plug that goes into it to trick it into thinking it's closed. Now basically, well, obviously because it's mechanical, it's going to use boost pressure to open that valve rather than electrical wizardry to do it. So that's what I've always put that code down to. I may be completely wrong, but as you can see, you know, we've got basically little things here. ABS, it has told me that my ABS has a possible signal failure. God knows what that's wrong with that. We've got another error here. My passenger door control unit. I don't know what that is. I mean, my whole passenger door is absolutely fine. Everything works on it. God knows what that is then. And then we've got some more here. We have a potential circuit open with my illumination adjustment controller. I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's either my boost gauge is connected to it or my sub is connected to it. So obviously I've tapped in to my control panel, which is potentially made it say that the circuit's open, which it basically is, because it's obviously feeding power to my sub and it's feeding power to my boost gauge. So there is an open circuit of sorts. We've got my left low beam and my right low beam are also potentially have a short to the battery. Now what I've got currently on my car, which is HIDs, that could potentially be causing the problem, but there might be something there. Obviously I've installed a bunch of different products on my car, so the wiring to those certain areas might be a bit sketch right now, but hey, for you guys this might help. One final thing I'm going to show you, I'm just going to run through the menu super quick now. This one here, all you've got to do, double click, and then once you've double clicked, you can select whatever you want here. So some of the important ones, you've got accelerator pedal position if you think you've got a problem with that. We've got boost pressure, clutch pedal position, engine coolant temperature. I mean, we've got so much stuff here. Fuel pump, fuel rail pressure. That would be an interesting one to look at. And basically you can add and remove whatever you want. So I'm going to remove my brake one. And then what we're going to do is press the tick button down bottom. Right, so once you've pressed the tick button, we are going to close this. Obviously there's my graphs there. I've got all different graphs here. So if I was to start the car up now, you will find, once I press play down the bottom, so obviously it's making sure that I've set my switch back across to the original position. So I'm going to click that across now. And then once I've done that, I'm going to press OK. And here we go. So currently you can see that my MAF airflow sensor is going a bit weird. But if I was to accelerate, you can see all the peaks go up with my acceleration. So we could, in theory, go for a tiny little drive now, just to give you a demonstration of kind of what we're looking at. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll go for a tiny little drive. I'm just going to go for a super quick drive and just show you this program. in use. So we've just changed the camera position. I'm sorry that it's not the best camera position, but I mean, you'll get over it. We're going to pull out onto this main road and just give it a proper little boost down the road, and just see kind of how the car acts, and then we're obviously in the future we're going to do a video on fuel rail pressure, because I'm going to be changing the fuel cam bucket. I think it's called that, or fuel tappet, cam tappet, I don't know, but we're going to be changing that anyway. And that will basically tell us whether the fuel tappet at 30,000 miles is worth it or not. But anyway, we're going to come out now. We're going to do a little boost down here. I'm just going to get myself a little bit of room. It's going to be a 4th gear pull. So once I've got a little bit of room, I will do it. So this is a 4th gear pull. Watch the graph from about now, and it will show you kind of, you know, what goes on with your car. I don't know whether I've selected the correct, you know, icons or anything, but we're going to go now. So this is 40 miles an hour, 2,000 revs, foot plant into the floor. And there you go. So that gives you a little bit of an intro of what kind of you can read, and the kind of graph that you can get from that. So guys, I'm going to finish the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it helped a little bit. I will leave a link in the description for where you can get this code. I will be doing a more in-depth video, I hope, with WG Motorworks, and kind of looking at how people actually tune cars, I hope. I'm hoping to basically get on his Corsa, and he's going to show me a bunch of different stuff, and we're going to blow your minds with kind of what you can do. But anyway, thank you guys for watching.